Welcome to the Yo 11 podcast, mostly Vegas, no BS casino experience and more. Michael Trager is a casino and travel loyalty expert who also helps people turn their travel dreams into reality. And now your host, Michael Trager. How's it going, Michael?
It's going wonderfully. How is it going for you?
It's going wonderfully as well. Thank you for asking.
So we have no news stories, but I was going to do an impromptu news story. Do you like that impromptu idea?
Impromptu news. Oh, by the way, Sammy Hagar is returning for a tour in Vegas at Park MGM in March of this year with Joe Satriani and a couple of other people. That would have been the news story if I had time to work on it. What's yours?
That's cool. I love him. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Got good vibe. I mean, he really has good vibe. So that's awesome. My news story was about, I will read the headline, Wynn Resorts shares soar as Fertitta. Is that how you say it? Fertitta? Tita?
Yeah, I think it involves like some sort of a bread with cheese and meat, tomatoes, onions.
No, that's like focaccia.
Oh, my bad.
But Wynn Resort stock soared on Thursday on news that billionaire, imagine being a billionaire, Tilman Fertitta increased his stake in the company to 9.9%. That's almost 10%. Bloomberg News reports that he's unhappy with the casino operator's performance and share price, and citing unidentified people familiar with his thinking. Bloomberg wrote, Wynn management isn't doing an adequate job communicating Wynn's performance to investors. And Fertitta thinks there are opportunities to expand the Wynn brand. Ever notice there are certain names and words that you get stuck on sometimes? I have that with a couple of things. Not many things, but a couple of things, particularly in the U.S., So it's so interesting. A 13GA filing, you got to ask Mark Meltzer what that is, released late Wednesday, showed that he owned a total of 10.9 million shares in a passive stake. In October 2022, he acquired 6.9 million shares, and which is 6.1% stake, which is below the 8.4% stake owned by Elaine Wynn. The acquisition of the stock increases speculation of his intent. He is the owner and CEO of Houston-based Fertitta Entertainment with its Golden Nugget casino brand, restaurants, and NBA Houston Rockets. So he does own the Golden Nugget, and that includes, to the best of my knowledge, the Nugget in Vegas, the Nugget in Laughlin, the Nugget in Biloxi, the Nugget in Atlantic City. Did I handle all the Nuggets? I think so. But Wynn's stock price did open on Thursday at $87.40 and at a high in early trading. It is sort of interesting because Meltzer sent me this story immediately when it happened, and I was thinking to myself, God, somebody probably made a lot of money on that, or if anyone thought that was coming, but that would be called insider trading. And it has received its, did you know Wynn has received its license? We did talk about this a couple months ago for the Al Marjan Island that's under construction. That's the casino in Dubai in the Emirates, which is going to open in the first quarter of 2027. So that's some interesting stuff is going on. But I think if you ask me, who's not an expert at this stuff at all, it looks like he's basically saying that Wynn's not doing itself a service, showing how good they are operationally, and that they need to do a little bit better job communicating their performance to investors. So that's it. Sort of interesting, but nothing like being a billionaire and buying more of a casino. But now he has a larger share of the casino, at least from what I can tell, than Elaine Wynn.
Interesting.
Of Wynn, of Wynn Resorts.
But the Dubai property is going to be a casino-less property, right? Because they do
not. No, it's a casino license. It's going to be a casino. It's like the first.
Wow, that's big for Dubai.
It's for Emirates. I don't know where.
Okay.
Did I tell you? I don't know if it's exactly in Dubai. I mean, I think you could. I hear some people refer to it as Wynn Dubai. It's in that whole like Dubai Abu. I think it is actually in Dubai, but it's on an island. They're doing it
Gotcha.
on an island, but it's going to be like the first casino license there, because you're right. Caesars has had a property there, which I think they just recently gave up, which is not a casino. Also Atlantis, which I think is the same group, does. So this is really interesting, because remember, Wynn has properties in Macau, Cotai. They've got Boston, they've got Vegas, and now they're going to have this Emirates property, and they won the casino license there. So that's going to be super cool to see what happens with that, because Wynn has been very cautious on their expansions. And what's interesting about Wynn expansions, like Boston is brilliant, because Boston can only have 3 casinos. Massachusetts can only have 3 casinos, 2 resort style and 1 slot parlor style. So and they're by region, so there's 0 competition. So Wynn has the Boston reason for a casino, and they will never have another casino next door unless the gaming changes the regulations. And this is the same kind of thing that's going to happen in the Emirates, that only Wynn is going to be operating a casino. And I think strategically this is sort of brilliant, because, it's wonderful to operate a casino when you have no competition. Right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the way Atlantic City was years ago. All the casinos had no competition. I mean, it's a captive audience. So it will be very interesting to see what happens with that. And that's also another thing to put down for a future episode. But we did talk about this, I think, a couple months ago in a news story or impromptu news story.
Yeah. And also, I know that you struggle with the word fertita. Just think of it as something that you can order from like a taco truck. Like, oh man, we got tacos, we got burritos, we got fertitas. If you think of it that way, sometimes it's easier.
I said fertita though, didn't I? I mean, I think I didn't botch it that bad. I just, every time I look at the name, because it has so many T's in it, I did.
You're like,
fertita.
Tita? Fertita. Like, you kept like
well, it's the extra T's which throw me off. It's just like too many T's. Okay.
Right. Okay. Anyways, moving
okay,
on.
Great. Everyone could. Well, I'm glad you've cleared that up, so everyone could criticize me in the comments. So that's fine. I don't mind. You can criticize me all you want, because I am very far from perfect.
And you know what? It's good. It's healthy that people like us accept the fact that we're not perfect, and we don't let shit get to us. That's a good thing.
I think it is, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is.
Totally.
So we are moving on.
Yeah. Oh, let me get that. Is this the tease? Are we doing a tease?
We're doing a tease.
All right, let's get on. You know who likes hearing me say this? We had dinner with him at Paris. Man, his name escapes me.
John Morris? Was it John Morris that said that?
I believe so.
Must have been.
Let's get on with the tease.
Take it away. Well, this morning I did a little tweet. I also put it on Blue Sky. Blue Sky. Can you do that better than I can, Blue Sky? Do you have like a Blue Sky song?
I don't.
Okay. Anyway, this morning I had tweeted about the prearranged Chapter 11 for Spirit, and I thought that was sort of funny because I love the word prearranged. And Spirit is going into a prearranged Chapter 11. Don't panic. Everything's going to be fine. This is just corporate restructuring. So all the people out there is like, what's going to happen to my Spirit tickets? What's going to happen to my Spirit points? Nothing's going to happen. It's all prearranged. We're all good. But I did list that on there. But what happened is what spurred this conversation of that is somebody said, actually Chris said, guess I need to get some flights booked and use all my points. And I said, I'd say nothing to worry about, seriously, but always when it comes to points, burned, baby, burn. Points never go up in value. Points tend to devalue. And the best is to try to use them up as fast as possible. Always use your points when you can. Always try to use your points first. And always try to use your points before paying cash if possible. And then Gambler Trey, who's S. Clark 2636. 26 is a very good number for roulette. I can't speak to 36. That's because roulette is what, 35, right? I don't know. I don't play roulette. I seldom play. And my numbers are 23 and 26. And speaking of, I'll need your help later on with how to use my Amex points for flights. And I said this would be a fun topic for Yo 11, but I didn't have the time to prepare everything that I would regularly prepare for this topic. So in today's episode, this is a little bit of a quick chat using your credit card points transferred to fly to Vegas. And the main thing, and what Trey's talking about, if you don't understand, is what you want is points currencies. What do I mean by points currencies? Points currencies are points that you earn from spend mostly and from bonuses, because the bonuses are good. You want to use that points currency, and then you can then transfer that points currency. Why is that valuable? Because if you just earn points on a Delta credit card, you just wind up with Delta Sky Miles. If you just earn points on an American credit card, you just wind up with American Airlines points. If you just earn points on a Marriott Bonvoy credit card, you just end up with Marriott Bonvoy points. If et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That pigeonholes you, because basically then you need to only use those points. There are strategies of why you would do that. But for most people, you want to earn points in one of the major points currencies. The two most popular major points currencies are American Express membership rewards and Chase ultimate rewards. Those are 2 points currencies. And what's cool about those is Chase and Amex can transfer to a bunch of programs. And that's what Trey is referencing. What do I do with these Amex points and how do I transfer them? And that's true. That's basically what you want to do. And the transferring points is really, really important. And like, just an example, Chase transfer partners include JetBlue, United, Air France Flying Blue, Virgin Atlantic, lots of transfer partners. And then you also have different transfer partners for American Express. So American Express, you can transfer to, and some of them are overlapping, like the Air France KLM. The biggest deal is that Chase only transfers to United and Delta only transfers from American Express. So American Express and Delta are in bed together. Chase and United are in bed together. So if you absolutely want to transfer to Delta, you don't. You need American Express cards. If you absolutely want to transfer to United, you might. You need to have Chase points. So that is sort of what you have to consider. Now, he was talking about American Express points. Now, a lot of people who grabbed the Platinum card got bonuses of anywhere from 100 to 150,000 points when they signed on, as well as getting their American Express Platinum card. So, of course, someone like Trey is saying, I need to get to Las Vegas. How am I going to get to Las Vegas? Well, one way would be transferring those American Express points to Delta, and that might work if you can find a good enough Sky Miles redemption. Problem is, Delta redemptions tend to be horrible. According to Gary Leff, he coined them as Sky Pesos. I don't usually use that term, but Delta usually asks for an extraordinarily high number of miles, especially for premium cabins. So that's important to keep in mind. But you can do better sometimes transferring to other airlines, and you need to understand what gets really tricky here is you can transfer your American Express points to Virgin Atlantic or Singapore Airlines. Now immediately you should shout at me. You know what you should shout at me, Movestro?
What?
I need to go to Las Vegas from Memphis. Why the fuck would I want Singapore Airlines or Virgin Atlantic points? Can you shout that at me?
I have to go to Las Vegas from Memphis. Why the fuck would I want Singapore Airlines or that other thing you said?
Well, guess what? You could use Singapore Airlines is Star Alliance. United is Star Alliance. You can transfer your points to Singapore from American Express, and you can redeem points on United.
Oh.
Via Singapore. Just yesterday, I was looking at Singapore Airlines redemptions from Palm Beach International to Las Vegas. And there were some economy class redemptions for as low as 14,000 miles. The transfer ratio from American Express to Singapore is 1-to-1. So if you have 150,000 American Express membership reward points, you can transfer 14,000 to Singapore, and you can book that ticket on Singapore using Singapore miles to fly on United.
Well, that's good to know.
Now, is that the best use? No, but it is a use. Usually domestic awards are not the best use unless you can find a good premium class award. The best use really is international, because I am flying home, for example, from Budapest in December, and I'm going from Budapest to Zurich to Miami in business class. And I transferred to United from Chase 80,000 points for that business class ticket, with about $15 in taxes. That is obviously extremely valuable redemption, because a business class ticket is thousands of dollars. But but who cares? If you need to go to Las Vegas, and especially if you earn these points through a bonus, you need to redeem. So you're going to have to think a little bit out the box sometimes. And this is something I love discussing: transferring your Amex to Singapore and redeeming with United, transferring your Amex to Virgin and redeeming on Delta. Believe it or not, and this changes all the time, you can often get a redemption to Las Vegas, US domestic, for fewer Virgin miles. Fewer Virgin miles booked on Delta by booking through Virgin. So you transfer your points to Virgin and you book, then transferring them to Delta and booking directly. I know that makes no sense at all. I understand it makes no sense that Delta, but that's just the way it is sometimes. And on top of it, there's something called bonuses. Bonus, mother, whatever it is. And sometimes they run a bonus. Well, guess what's happening right now? Chase is running a 40% bonus to transfer to Virgin. So you're going to get 40% more miles if you transfer your Chase points. So if you transfer 100,000 Chase points to Virgin, you're going to get 140,000 Virgin points. And then you can use those to redeem Delta flights to fly to Las Vegas, potentially. Of course, you got to look at the awards first. And this is really good. And if you want to always keep an eye on these bonus opportunities, because sometimes you want to hear about a bonus opportunity and then you get the credit card, because this bonus opportunity from Chase to Virgin is good until the end of November. There is a wonderful program that's offered by MilesTalk, which also runs Your Best Credit Cards, who's an affiliate with TravelZork, and you can sign up for bonus offer alerts, and there is a link down below. And if you sign up for those bonus offer notifications, basically whenever there's a new bonus, like, hey, 40% from Chase, a very popular bonus has been British Airways from American Express, usually 30 or 40%. One of those just ended. So to Avios. So optimized redemption of points. If you've got American Express points or Chase points, optimally what you want to do is you want to find flights that work on a program where there is a bonus in place. So you can transfer those points, which means you need fewer points, and redeem them. So it's great to know about the bonus offers, and you do not have to think about them. Just sign up for the bonus alerts from MilesTalk. They're really, really good. And that's an awesome thing to know. And I'm going to step you through some of these redemptions and show you some screenshots of them so you can understand what I'm saying, because I know it's a lot coming at people. And I know this idea of like using Virgin points to fly on Delta or using Singapore points to fly on United is a little bit of a wacky concept. And there are also some caveats of what you have to do, because one of the problems is once you transfer these points, you cannot transfer them back. So you don't want to mess it up. So that's another thing that's really important. But that's about it. How does that sound, Movestro? That's good stuff, right?
It is good stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. Before we get going, do you have anything on your mind that you'd like to share?
That's everything for the moment. Other than I love Wynn.
We know. We all know.
We all know. And
Everybody
where's
knows.
that's right. And do you like caviar bumps for breakfast?
I sure do. I sure do. I think I have a picture of it right now. Boom. There it is. Ready to go at
Boom.
all times.
Okay. Wow. Shit. Wow. And that was our last bougie breakfast tableau. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. I'd love to hear in the show notes what you would, if you want to know more about Amex membership reward points and flying to Vegas and more about Chase. I really love to know what interests people, because then I can target some of these shows a little bit much more, because they're great conversations. These are also conversations that always happen in the TravelZork Facebook group. I would highly suggest, and they're travel conversations that happen on X and now maybe on Blue Sky.
Blue sky. Alrighty then, that's going to do it for this episode. Luxury travel booking, TravelZork.travel. Visit us at TravelZork.travel to plan your next amazing vacation, and be sure to find us on social media. You can find us easily. All social platforms are at TravelZork. We'll see you next time.